Hey, what's going on? Miguel Lord, host of Life Full Circle Radio. And so we're jumping in here. Today's Thursday. We're getting it in when we can get it in. So I ain't even hit the shave or nothing. We're getting up in. So anyway, while we going on, as we're sitting here, FBI Pro was the story of the day with the situation where the FBI and Cash Patel came out and he wanted to show everybody that he's a big tough guy. But we'll see. You know, maybe it's a legitimate deal. But you know, my challenge is that, of course, they're making the NBA and the players of the NBA and the coaches of the NBA, because Chauncey Billups is a part of it. We'll talk about that as the face of this issue. When supposedly this goes all to the crime families, the Gambinos and some others. I'm not going to mess up no names or whatever. But that supposedly is going deep. And you know, in a world where I can turn on the games are on right now, NBA is playing, and see so many ads about gambling, I really don't care. New York mayor race is heating up, and Cuomo, who was one time the governor, who's the brother of Quiskin's daddy, was governor too now. But this guy, Mamdani, I think his name, I made Jack his name up, hopefully I didn't. He is giving him all the smoke that he wants. It looks like he may be the one that's leading the pack on this. Trump just said, F your Constitution. And so he just started tearing up the East Wing. And now, you know, there's all types of stuff out there where who knows what he's building. 240 million, the last number. I've heard between 240 and 300 million dollars is what it's going to cost to rebuild this whatever he's building as he destroys the East Wing. You know, latest on ICE is like latest on the weather. There's something going on with ICE. Stephen A. Smith apologizes. And then we're going to talk about what are we watching. Make sure you follow us on social media. We may be pretty soon going live a little bit on Instagram, maybe. Because they want us to be vertical. And like, you know, we got here on the side vertical, but this space right here that's in the middle, it wouldn't be right. I have to figure that out. Super producer.
What's up? Hold on 1 second.
Somebody watching the game.
Exactly. Thank you. That's exactly what it is.
It was so funny because right before this, we was getting going because they watching the game here too, and I just went straight. You're not hardwired in your office?
No, I am not wired into my office. I need to now for multiple reasons, but mainly because I look like this.
So is your modem in your office?
It's literally under the desk.
Come on, man! I ain't putting that on nobody else. That is on you. You better go get your little $5 Ethernet cord.
No, we upgraded to business Wi-Fi for Spectrum. Like, we pay a lot of money for our Wi-Fi, and it's still, he's not even streaming a game. He's not even stealing. Okay, here we go. All right, he's gonna talk bad about me, guys. I get it. What's wrong?
I can't watch TV.
You can't. What are you streaming? Are you watching
Omar, y'all need to go to the hardware store and get yourself a $5 Ethernet cord so she can be straight hardwired to the computer. Watch your game.
Problem is
No, I'm not. I don't have the Ethernet cord plugged into the thing. I will. I'll get it. Go lay down. Just don't stream a game. You can stream your TV show.
I can watch the show.
You can watch your show.
That's what I'm watching.
Oh, okay.
As we produce this show live and direct, and if I got to go on Amazon.com and send you a $5 Ethernet cord,
it's fine. I will be pixelated for 2 seconds and I'll come back. It'll be fine. Let's get the show started. Where are we starting at?
All right. So anyway, so today we're a lot of stuff going on. And so as we said at the top of the show, you got the New York mayoral race, which is going on. You mentioned Eric Adams, who is the current mayor of Atlanta, current mayor of New York, is now
as
endorsing
ghetto as
Andrew
he is.
Cuomo.
He might as well be the mayor of Atlanta. As hood as he is, and as ghetto and trashy as he is, he could be the mayor of Atlanta.
We ain't got no hood, no trashy mayor in Atlanta. All for my man Andre. No, you ain't down here, so don't act like. Andre Dickens is getting it done. He about to smoke whoever trying to run against him if he this shit next. We ain't even paying attention. We already know he gonna win. All right. So anyway, so Eric Adams, who, as we know, former police officer, mayor, had issues. Trump got rid of his issue, but he ain't running again. Andrew Cuomo, old dog, new guy who's running, Muslim guy. Is he Muslim? I think he's Muslim.
He is. He's Muslim.
And he's also a socialist, and so and he looks like he's the one that's going to win. And then they got the old stodgy, old school New Yorker who's the third guy that was on the stage, and he looked like he just want to punch somebody in the nose.
Why was he there? Who was that guy? I was
He's
like,
a Republican
wait a
candidate.
minute.
There is a Republican candidate. He's the Republican candidate. Cuomo is independent.
Oh, honey, no one cares about you, Republican candidate. No one cares. No one cares about you. Unless you plan on like kissing every baby that's coming out of the hospital and giving people away free stuff, but you're not because you're Republican. Nobody cares about you, darling. Like when they put the camera on him to speak, I was like, who's this person?
He's the old,
Why is he talking? It's really just Cuomo and
Mom Donnie.
Mom Donnie.
Uh-huh.
And let's be clear. The issue everybody has with Mom Donnie is that he's Muslim. That is the issue.
No, and he's a self-proclaimed socialist. So,
but here's the thing about socialism that again, as a Republican, I was getting annoyed. People are like, "Oh, you guys want free stuff for everybody." Yeah, but you guys also want different socialist programs as well. You want people to get their retirement, and you guys want them to get their Social Security. Those are all socialist programs. So
it's based on a bunch of ignorance. A bunch of people don't even know what the words mean. They don't know what a socialist or fascist or it's anyway.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think Mom Donnie is. I feel like this happens every single time. We swing the pendulum way too far, and then we end up with something that is unnecessary. It's happened with Trump, and we talked about this on the show. It's now going to happen with Mom Donnie, where we have swung the pendulum to him, which is way too far. What happened to that Asian boy that tried to win the Asian man who tried to run a while ago? He tried to run for president, and then he tried to run for mayor. What is his name?
Yang? He tried to run for mayor. Yang
Andrew Yang.
But he was making a bunch of money. So he probably said, later for this, I'm just going to go and count my bread and keep it moving because, we're really at a place right now where folks who are making money, we've seen a lot of people that we've seen before have a presence and they seem to have just drifted away. They're just like, man, you don't see a lot of Barack Obama. You don't see Michelle Obama hardly ever. You don't see, you name it on both sides of the aisle. You never see the Bushes. Clinton said he gone. Bill Clinton said I'm going riding off to the sunset. No one wants to get into these debates and spats with Trump. They're like, I'm done with this. It's a wrap.
I think the Bushes are the most surprising because they were such a staple for so long. Like, forever.
Well, Daddy Bush is dead and gone. So Daddy Bush is gone.
He was been kicking the bucket for a while. And Barbara, she's been kicking the bucket for a while. The pearls were bound to go. But even when they were,
did Barbara pass?
No, Barbara is not still here. Barbara is gone.
Okay. Is she going to glory?
Barbara went to go be with him. Okay. What I'm saying is, even with their parents being, close to death, they were still involved with politics. But now, like you said, there's no space for being a human. I guess is the best way to put it. There's no space for being a human. And the Bushes, it's funny now. The Bushes are now considered, it's like by the new MAGA people, are considered what? Leftists in their eyes?
Who knows? The MAGA people are just, so many of them are just insanity personified. You can't have conversations with these people. Many of them you can't have conversations with. And so you just sit back and you say, you know what? Because here's the thing. All right, we might as well jump into the different stories. So,
well, before we do, let's just stay on this topic of Eric Adams. Eric Adams endorsing Chris Cuomo is not helpful. No one likes Eric Adams. Eric Adams turned his back on his core group, which is always the death of any politician, is when they do this. When they turn their back on their core group of people, it is a nail in the coffin. What they say means nothing because you're a flip-flopper, especially because he flip-flopped because he was trying to get a deal to get out of jail.
Well, see, that's
a bad sign.
The folks on the right love it when someone who was supposedly on the left and they flip-flop and ride to their side. We think that they don't care. The people who, he probably, as quick as he made that endorsement for Andrew Cuomo, his Cash App went off. Ding! Ding!
Probably.
Yeah.
But even before the Andrew Cuomo endorsement, he had already flip-flopped and was supporting Trump before. Remember when he made all the migrants that were dropped off there, they were trying to support, he made all of them leave, and that whole thing that happened, he has gone hard now for Trump, which again doesn't make you a good Republican. It just makes you a Trump supporter.
Right. But what is a good Republican now?
I don't
Right.
know. I try to be
Exactly.
one, but I don't even know what that means.
You
I
don't know.
try to be
You don't know what it
Republican,
means. Don't know.
but
Nobody
exactly.
knows
I
what it
don't
means.
have a space. Yeah, and you know what this eases us into? Well, what were you going to talk about? What was
No,
your
go ahead.
topic?
Finish your thought.
This eases us into the Republicans getting caught with those text messages.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about the young Republicans. Yeah. So much
But the
goes on.
people in my age group,
But JD Vance
caught
calls them
with,
kids. You know, kids, they're just little kids, little college kids. And right.
cool, yeah, then I'm a college kid. 40 with 3 kids, married. I'm a college kid compared to him because some of those people were 29, 34, 32, 24, 25. These were people, and
They
these
ain't
were
kids.
just subtle.
They ain't kids.
These weren't subtle text messages. I
No.
mean, let me see
They
if I
don't
can pull
care
some of
about
them.
JD Vance and that ilk. They do not care about racism. Do not care what it says. They don't care about any of that. They're at the point now they feel like they can do no wrong right now when it comes down to people who support them. And so because they can't do any wrong, who cares about a bunch of young Republicans who sit up there and calling people the N-word and watermelon this and all types of racist garbage and sexist garbage. It don't matter to them.
Well, here's what they were saying. Well, they're not just saying black people are beneath us, which again, I know it's bad, but okay, fine. They're saying everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. Great. I love Hitler. Also, we are officially under consideration for a Trump endorsement after all these messages. You're giving nationals too much credit and expecting the Jew to be honest. If we ever had this leaked with this chat, we'd all be cooked. Yeah, you are. They love the watermelon people, like you said. I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkeys play basketball.
Right.
These are unapologetically racist people from grown adults. Unfortunately, ugly grown adults, but grown adults none the same. And everybody is acting like this is a boys being boys, just kids being kids.
No, this is racist rat bastards showing their colors and not having it. They're not being penalized by it at all.
And even if these are kids, I wouldn't want my child sending this stuff about white people. If they were saying white people suck, white people smell like dogs, white people this, that, I would be like, you need to give me your phone. You're going to apologize to every white person at the school for the rest of the school year. Inappropriate.
Right. What's going on, brother Andre? Happy birthday to your daughter. Daughter Cole. See, I got my toys now real close.
Whoa. That's almost close to the big girl birthday.
Yeah,
almost
12 years old. And so thanks for logging in. He said his son just finished his football game. That's a bet. Let me know what position he's playing see if he's knocking anybody out as a linebacker. So, yeah. So when we look at this stuff, we look at what you're talking about with JD Vance and all of that. And then, as we want to continue on the conversation around Trump, these people don't feel that we have any choices. This just came out today as we were preparing for the show. I guess this interview must have happened today because it's all over the place. Here we go.
Is that Rosie O'Donnell?
Trump 28. Trump is going to be president 28, and people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is, but there's a plan. We had longer odds in 16 and longer odds in 24 than we got in 28. And President Trump will be the president of the United States, and the country needs him to be president of the United States. We have to finish what we started. Trump is a vehicle. I know this will drive you guys crazy, but he's a vehicle of divine providence. He's an instrument. He's very imperfect. He's not churchy, not particularly religious, but he's an instrument of divine will. And you can tell this of how he's pulled this off. We need him for at least one more term, right? And he'll get that in 28.
You're not driving me crazy. I'm trying to understand the coherence of the things you've just told me. On the one hand, you've said the Constitution is fit for purpose. Secondly, you've said that President Trump needs another term, even though the 22nd Amendment makes pretty clear that he cannot have another term.
Why does it make that clear?
Because he's on his second term already.
At some point in time, we will make sure we go through Zanny and define all those terms.
But you will be undermining the spirit of that amendment, even if you find some way around it.
If the American people, with the mechanisms we have, put Trump back in office, are the American people tearing up the Constitution? Would that be tearing up?
Well,
would the American people be going against the spirit of the Constitution, ma'am?
I think yes, actually, because I think what you will end up with is a populist justification for a quasi-dictatorship.
That's not true at all. Trump
That's
works-
what it sounds like.
It's not. Trump is a dictatorship. Did you just see the compromises he had to make on the big beautiful bill? You see the compromises he has to do on everything, on accommodating
stop this.
Zelensky, on what
Please stop
President Trump.
this. Please stop
President
this.
Trump is
Pause
nothing
it.
but a series of
can't do it.
negotiations to kind of keep this thing rolling forward, where he's having trade-offs all the time. How
Steve,
can
you've just spent the last 20 minutes telling me we have to smash the other side. There's no room for debate. There's no room for compromise. We must smash them. And now you're telling me this is a negotiation. I mean, that's
No.
I guess
On
that's
his-
why
on
it
his
seems
po-
to me
on
some
his
kind of
policy.
tension
First
there.
off, the only way President Trump wins in 2028 and continues to stay in office is by the will of the American people. Okay? And the will of the American people is what the Constitution embodies. And so
much to unpack there. Okay, so part of this conversation that continues to go on is that what determines who the American people are. People like Steve Bannon do not consider you and I American people. Okay, only people who matter to these people are white folk, and white folk who know that this is the way that it needs to be. No other way. There is no other way to look at this thing, right? So then he starts talking about when the woman asked him, the spirit. What we're learning right now is that we keep talking about the spirit of the Constitution and all of these traditions that we thought were law. These people do not care about laws. They don't care about what exactly is supposed to be done. They only care about what they're going to do here. And what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about tearing up the East Wing, Kia?
Well, you are not going to like my position on this.
Go ahead.
So, the White House is a home and an office.
Let's not start there. Let's start there. Respond to Steve Bannon first. Let's start there first, and then come back to East Wing.
Steve Bannon sucks. Like, that's my response. Steve Bannon sucks. Has no idea about the Constitution. He also doesn't understand that people, including Republicans and MAGA people, are not happy with the Trump administration. Yeah, cool, great. They're happy with people getting deported. But we have the beef farmers of America who are super pissed off right now, who voted for Trump, who are now having their livelihood outsourced to Argentina. We have the soybean farmers of America who are super pissed off because they have all these crops that are dying, going to waste, or losing a bunch of money. We're now about to start a socialist program for them to keep them afloat because they don't have anything. We have middle America in red states who are also MAGA, who have no health care, no benefits, no SNAP benefits now, who don't want to vote for him. His really only people he's talking to right now are wealthy white people.
But we said that from the jump.
We did say that from the jump. And everybody has had to learn the hard way. Like, literally the hard way. Beef farmer, all these farmers voted for him like, oh, Trump's going to change it. Trump's going to make sure we get more profits. None of that's happening. He implemented these tariffs. The other countries are like, no, we'll just do it ourselves. We don't care. We'll just do it ourselves. We don't need you. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. It's fine. No big deal. You guys need more from us than we need from you. Yes, China needs soybeans, but name all the stuff we need from China. 1,000 things we get from China.
Not much.
Exactly.
And so, I was in a meeting this morning with a gentleman whose son is currently serving in the Navy, I believe. And he said his son called him and said, hey, Dad, can't talk long. I'm on my way to Venezuela. And so,
and we already know how that's about to be.
And for people who don't know what I'm talking about, right now, the Trump administration is preparing. Right now, they have the largest naval warship in the Caribbean. It has sailed to the Caribbean, or it's on its way to the Caribbean. And they're preparing to, why you need a hammer, the biggest hammer in the world, to deal with a conflict with what you say are drug cartels. Help me to understand. So supposedly they're going to the Caribbean to go fight Nicaragua and fight the drug cartels. You're going to take a doggone something you need to fight a whole country.
They want to kill themselves in their own country. That's their business. And even funnier, the Coast Guard has come out. Former Coast Guard has been like, we are the ones who fight the drug cartels in the sea. It's a process every single time. They try to set their boats on fire. They try to jump off. We rescue them from the water. We put the fires out so that we can save the evidence so that the U.S. District Attorney or whoever can file charges and deportation, all this kind of stuff. We don't just blow up their boats while they're on them because we need a record of that evidence. And I'm like, that makes perfect sense.
They don't care about records. These people, it's all optics. Everything with this administration is what it looks like.
But the
right?
optics, this is the part that kills me. The optics aren't working, even for the MAGA people. They're not working. You know who they're working for? Russian bots who are tweeting on Twitter, not the everyday American. We see the same profiles on Twitter who are boosting this stuff over and over again, and the same faceless profiles over and over and over again that have been verified, that only tweet about Trump, that only tweet about the things that he's doing. They have no other conversation.
At this point, we have to understand the when you look at the House has not been in session since basically July, like 4 days since July.
Yeah.
So they're not doing their job. You know, you got these elections, these midterm elections coming up. You got them doing all this redistricting in Texas. All this stuff is happening, and so at this point, they don't care left, right, middle, center, if you Israel or if you are Lawrence, Kansas. These people do not care what people think because they feel like we done won the elections, we got control of everything. The Congress is not pushing back. The Supreme Court is silent. The only thing people trying to fight back are governors, and they basically saying, "F y'all, I'm gonna take my National Guard and come into your city and raise havoc." And slam people up and throw people around and you know it's
and then going into these cities is not working how they want. They're putting their own ICE agents and officers. And by the way, ICE officers are now getting arrested because they come on vacation in Florida. They're getting drunk here and they're getting arrested. I don't know if you've seen all those body cam footages now. And low key, I really feel like local police officers are targeting them on purpose because this is the only way. This is the only way they can kind of get back at the ICE agents is targeting them.
Oh, the applause that's actually appropriate. That's actually appropriate. It's actually
there was the ICE officer, ICE agent here, drunk with his kids in his car. The body cam footage.
I did see that story. I did see that story. These people that we're talking about is like, and once they start to identify who took on these roles as ICE. I was in another meeting, and I think this was last week, and they're running ads here in the state of Georgia. I'm sure we talked about this last week, where they're running ads to try to get police officers to leave their post as police officers and then become ICE agents. And the whole thing is basically they're disparaging their current jobs. So basically, if you got a great job, you feel like, you know, you're effective in the community, and it's the city of Atlanta police officers that get to take their cars home, you know, all the type of thing, that the different benefits. And you say, you know, they make you stand down. They are really appealing to the bullies and saying, if you really want to get out here and knock some heads, come join ICE. It's almost like Suge Knight and Death Row. If you're tired of produce all in the videos, come to Death Row.
The video,
right? You know, that's really how they're selling ICE. They're selling ICE and saying they're making you stand down. You come to ICE, we gonna give you $50,000. We go, you know, forgive your school loans, and you get to bust heads. Come with us.
And
there's people that's running in droves. Huh?
$50,000 bonus.
But that's the other thing too. Like when I was talking to people in the law enforcement space, they ain't cutting them $50,000 checks.
I know they're not, but that's the draw.
They're dropping crumbs.
And again, I think we talked about this last week. You're not getting the police officers we have nowadays. You're not getting good police officers. And I'm not saying every police officer is good or great, but you're not getting police officers who want to police and support the community. You're getting the bottom of the barrel guys who had already gotten rejected by the police department. And this is like their last resort to carry a badge, wear a vest. I mean, even when you look how they're shaped.
Oh yeah, these guys are not known. These guys can't chase nobody down. You know, it's like, come on, man.
The Hispanic people they're arresting can't run either, so it's like this slow speed chase.
But you know, we can joke about this thing till we blue in the face, but it's you know, it's not funny, man. It really when I've talked to some Hispanic folk and they talk about, it's just, you know, I had a situation and that we interviewed a kid for a piece for one of my clients, and the kid is valedictorian at a school, and he's Hispanic, and he starts talking about his depression, and he starts talking about he has to worry about his family, and I immediately in my mind went to, this kid is born and raised here, never been anywhere else, valedictorian of his school, and he's worrying about his family being snatched up in the streets just for being Hispanic. And I just, it's disgusting. And I can see to sit back and say, this is what we have. So, all right, let's move on.
Wait, well, sorry, we got on that long tangent and we forgot to go to the East Wing being Here's my thought process, and you're going to be mad at me, but I think you're going to be able to go with me on this. The White House is a home and office in the museum. It is very old. They try to keep it up as much as possible, but they keep it up they keep it up while still preserving all of the historic parts of it. Even though historic parts of it are kind of old, kind of raggedy, not really safe, things need to be changed. There have been certain presidents who have had to renovate the White House because it was not safe and livable. And that's what a lot of people bring it up, like, well, they've renovated in the past. Okay, fine. I think that there should have been a ballroom already built into the White House. We host so many dignitaries. We have so many events. There are certain spaces in the White House that should have already had this. So him building this, it's not that big of a deal to me. Him lying, saying that it was not going to interrupt with the structure of the White House is where I'm like, well, why are you lying? Why can't we just say the truth of, we need a ballroom, we host all these dignitaries, we have all these events, why don't we have this already? We should have had this already. I think we should have had a ballroom already. Or do you not kind of agree with that? Kind of.
Here's the thing. It's not about whether or not the White House should have a ballroom. It's about how he's going about it. There was a video of him on the 15th, and he was told, he was in a speech wherever he was speaking, and he said he was told by somebody from his staff that said, basically, sir, you can do it now if you want to do it now. That was the 15th. Today is the 23rd, and he's got cranes ripping apart the East Wing as we speak, day and night. Telling people, you're going to tell people in I think whatever, Department of Treasury, which is right next door, oh, don't you guys take any pictures or any videos, and don't you post it? What?
Yeah.
Like, dude, like everybody in America is driving by there and taking pictures and videos.
It's the most visited house in the country.
So,
in the world.
It's just the point of it is there's a process for everything. And he does not care. He does not respect any of the process.
No.
None of it. And so, and then the lies about, oh, I can do it because it's privately funded.
Yes, your efforts are privately funded, but that house you're destroying is a national landmark that belongs to the United States. It belongs to the government.
I'm not even there, Kia. It's so easy now, as we are now in this place where supposedly this FBI probe, we'll get into here shortly. They're supposed to be, not only is it money laundering, but there's cryptocurrency involved. And I said to myself, hold on, cryptocurrency? Like the man, Donald Trump, who has his own coin now, the man who is trying to get an arch built in the city, I guess he'll pay for that himself too. How easy is it for the Saudis or the Qataris or anybody to say, oh, we'll pay for your little ballroom. Here's $250 million.
And how do we know they're not?
Exactly.
How do we know? Have they really done an audit of everybody who's given money to Trump? Are we sure that they're each individual donors?
Who gonna check him?
That's
who gonna do the audits?
No, I get it. I get what you're saying. This is what I'm saying. Is that like, where did you get this $240 million from? Even though you still owe E. Jean Carroll money. You didn't pay E. Jean Carroll, but you have $240 million of private funds to pay for this ball. None of it makes sense. I think that there needs to be a ballroom because it makes sense that there's a ballroom in the White House because of all the events they host. I don't like the way that he's going about it. I also don't like the way that he's desecrating the Oval Office. Have you seen what he's done with the Oval Office and all the gold accents and gold sculptures?
Here's the thing with me. To me, all of this stuff is connected. When you have the situation, because I'm enough of this came out recently too. Matter of fact, as we're talking, this came out as well today, and there's video for this as well, where we've said this over and over again. This is coming down to It's all about grabbing more land. It's all about trying to control as much of them going after the mobsters. I wouldn't be surprised if that is also another way to take them off of the chessboard when you start talking about mobsters. And then you have.
Can you
Say
share
again?
my screen real quick? Can you share my screen?
Can I share your screen?
Yeah.
Hold on. You got it.
Look at this. Look at this bottom photo. That's the Oval Office of the United States.
Yeah. He's got to have some. He's got some of the nastiest taste. His taste is.
Child, look, and the above picture is of his condo or his apartment back in, I think, in 2002 with his wife and little Baron on the fake lion. But these appliques right here next to Ronald Reagan, which is so Ronald Reagan, no, these had to be pasted onto the wall. These weren't there. This wall was all flat with a tan wallpaper. They've been added these weird gold appliques in the middle, and then all this shiny gold crap and the shiny gold couch. It looks like Caesar's Palace. We are in a Vegas hotel,
Right.
or brothel.
Because that is his style. That is who he is. Right? You know, you want to give me a heads up when you
Oh,
take the
sorry.
screen down?
Sorry, I forgot. Sorry, I forgot.
So, you know, it's that's who he is, man. That's and so then there's a video, and it's not in my history. As a matter of fact, here it is. Here it is right here. Where then you have this situation.
Been working on master plans for the last 2 years.
So there are plans already.
We have plans already. We have a master plan already. And by the way, and Jared's been pushing this, and we're working together. We're working with a group of people who have been working on master plans for the last 2 years.
So there are plans already.
We have plans already. We have a master plan already. And by the way, and Jared's been pushing this, and we're working together.
So in essence, as we talked about, it's 3-4 months ago when he had the AI video of the Gaza Strip being beachfront property, right? Jared Kushner, we haven't seen much from him, right? He hasn't been very visible, right? He's doing what slimy people do. He sits back in the back and he's breaking all these deals, and his father-in-law is giving him access to all these people. Everybody knows they can't move left or right without this Trump family. And so these people are planning on this is the ultimate pinky in the brain. They are planning on taking over the world, and they are moving very swiftly in trying to accomplish that. And you sit back and you're just like, who's going to stop them? What rich folks out there? Well, who has the resources? What country? Who has the resources to stop them from doing what they're doing? I'm sure they're out there, but we're not seeing them making a whole lot of movements in Africa. I don't, at least directly, because China is locked in there, and some of the other European countries are locked in there. But we're not hearing a lot. Maybe North Africa. I'm assuming Egypt and all that. But it's wild. We are in the midst of where the villains are winning. We just showed you Steve Bannon. We showed you Jared Kushner. With so much going on that is absolutely is wild. So, all right.
Really quick before we wrap this up is that now Trump is really going after people who went against him in his first term. They're being arrested and indicted. Comey indicted. John Bolton indicted. I think Michael Flynn is next to be indicted. All these people who didn't let him do what he wanted to do the first time, now they're evil, now they're bad, now they're hiding secrets. When in reality, they were trying to save the government and trying to, show that they supported him, but keep the government intact as much as possible. So it's a crazy time to be in. But you want to go to gambling?
Yeah, let's go. Why not? So, I mean, it's like, why not? It's all of this stuff is wild. It's wild in these streets.
I hate the cash patel. I hate the director of the FBI with a passion. If I never said this, and by the way, he's a teeny tiny short man. If I saw this man on the street, I would push him into traffic because he always going against DEI. You are the definition of DEI, my dude. You don't know what you're doing, and you're here because you're brown and you support Trump. That's DEI, baby.
So we have Chauncey Billups up on the screen, who is the head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, legend for the Detroit Pistons. And go ahead.
Okay, Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former NBA guard and coach Damon Jones were among the more than 24 arrested as part of the widespread FBI investigation on Thursday, officials said. The federal investigation involved multiple agencies and the NYPD as they targeted the LA Cosa Nostra crime families and 2 separate operations across several states. Officials said Billups, Rozier, and Jones faced charges of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Day in and day out, the FBI is following the money, and today is the result of that outstanding work, the FBI Director Kash Patel told FBI News Digital in an exclusive statement. This operation involved an expansion of effort across 11 states, arresting 34 suspects, including multiple NBA players and coaches who allegedly took advantage of their own positions of power to rig gambling systems for their own benefit, eventually funneling money to the Cosa Nostra, enriching some of the most notorious criminal networks in the world. This is vague.
Of course it's vague. Of course it's vague. That's the point. I wanted to let you finish what you were. I wanted to give you that opportunity to go through all this. They are using the NBA players. They're using these black faces to distract from what the real issues are here. Right? And so you're going after these mobsters and these cats like Chauncey Billups and these basketball players just having poker games. And because you guys had some stings on some poker games and because people are going to recognize them, it's always easy to call villain when it comes down to black men. They love to make us the villains. And it's amazing to me, like, okay, like, so I guess white men don't play poker. I guess they don't bet on sports. Huh?
Yeah, and also for people who don't know, because they're doing this kind of wording because people don't know, La Cosa Nostra is not a specific crime family. It's not the Gambinos. It's not I'm not going to show my Italian mafia history by naming all the families. It's not listing a specific family. It's saying La Cosa Nostra. That's everybody. That's just either the American Italian mob or the Irish mob. That's just, you're just covering everybody.
So with that information at our fingertips, it goes back to the mass conspiracy that I have. They're trying to take everybody off the board. If they can control the crime money, if they can control the real estate money, which we know that Trump has been tied in with that community for many years, helped finance a lot of his deals early, him and his father early in their careers, right? And so here's what we know. Anybody that Trump has had beef with over the course of his life, he's coming after them. And so in essence, I guess the next beef he has is with the mob. It's so.
Yeah, but even in the 5 families, even the core 5 families in the mafia, I don't know. I'm not going to expose my knowledge of the mafia world from my history, but you arresting some NBA players because they're gambling, especially with gambling now being legal and people having it on apps, does he really think people are going to care? Honestly, does he really think a judge is going to go, you guys are doing something so illegal, instead of just being like, this is just going to be a fine?
It ain't about the judges. It ain't about whether or not these guys go to jail. It's all about Kash Patel getting headlines today.
For the mafia in 2025, the Lucchese family doesn't really exist anymore. The Gambino family doesn't really exist anymore. The Bombano family doesn't really exist in any of the Columbos. None of these families exist the way they did back in the 80s and early 90s. We are in 2025. These families, they're running small rackets at this point. Again, I'm not trying to expose my knowledge of these families, but I'm just saying these are small rackets.
How many times you're going to say that? You might as well go and spill the beans now. Write your miniseries, but go ahead. You're getting all that from watching your little crime shows. You didn't watch all them crime shows. That's how you feel like you know everything.
And maybe when I stopped dating athletes a long time ago, maybe I dated a mob guy or two. Who knows? Maybe I learned a lot of stuff. No one knows about my life.
No one.
But what I'm saying is, again, I feel like Kash Patel just likes wearing the FBI jacket.
Of course he does.
He just likes being in front of the podium and saying mafia crime boss, makes him feel like it makes him feel like the original FBI when it was first developed.
Kash Patel is such a dude who got punched in the face when he was a kid. And now we're all paying for it. We're paying for it. We really are. He was bullied as a kid, and now the rabbit has got the gun. Because the rabbit has got the gun now. It's like he is blowing everybody's head off, whoever he is in his way. And so, it's... Where's
his family? I always say this about people of color who start acting nuts. Like, where's your family? He's an Indian man. Where's your mama? I know your mother is not sitting in some corner quiet, because I know my husband's mother. She is not going to sit somewhere place quiet if Omar was acting like this. She would be maybe not going to the press, but everybody in the community would know, and the people in the community would be going on social media saying, well, his mom is saying this and his mom is saying that. She is not happy. And we don't hear that. He's doing things that hurt him, hurt his community, hurt people of color, and he's getting a white woman. There's no Indian mom worth her salt that is okay with him being with a white woman who's not even respecting the culture.
They are doing what they're looking to do. I don't give a damn who Cash Patel is doing what with. I'm looking. This is the picture, and it is what it is. It's the lens I see my life through a lot. They are making it about Chauncey Billups and these NBA players, and they're not making it about what the real deal is. And if it's all about the mobsters, then flash some of their faces up there, right? But when you can say NBA, you immediately start talking about these black millionaires that a lot of America hates, right? They hated Chauncey Billups, who earned every dime, nickel, and penny. That he's not doing that great reporting. They've sucked for the 3 years he's been a coach. But when it's all said and done, this is the face of who a lot of America hates. It's the ones that they prop up for the 15 years that they're making a whole lot of money. Then once they're done, they want to destroy their lives. And so there's that. All right, so we'll keep an eye on this story, see how that stuff starts to pan out. Going back to another one of the pawns in this game, we talked about this story last week, and with Stephen A. Smith and Jasmine Crockett, and so
he sucks.
and so now here he is. Here he is.
How much work goes into that? I'm just gonna go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying, that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituents.
The irony for someone like you, or the ridiculousness of someone like you, to question how Jasmine Crockett speaks to the President of the United States of America when the President of the United States of America speaks terribly to everyone, and you're calling her out and not him? You're trying to tone police a black woman against a racist.
A few moments later.
I wanted to take a moment because I saw something disturbing in regards to President Donald Trump and how he came at Representative Jasmine Crockett. And I have no problem apologizing to my sister because, damn it, I want her to know I don't feel that way about her. Do you know what I think she should be doing? I think she should be competing for the Senate seat in Texas or for the Attorney General spot because she's qualified.
Bitch,
I personally think Kamala Harris should have ran for governor of California.
Steven, he talks tough on podcasts, but in person, he folds like a wet napkin.
Press his back.
I think I know politics. Watch him crumble. All talk, no action. Politic and Steven.
Jasmine Crockett.
Shut up! That action figure thing was the best thing. Because that's accurate. That was hilarious, though. That is so accurate about him. That action figure thing. He is the fakest MFer we all have ever seen in our life. He is so fake. You want Kamala Harris, I pronounced her name right, to run for governor after you dogged her out for 107 days? Are you serious right now?
You sure
You
is.
think Jasmine Crockett is qualified after you basically called her a hood rat a week ago?
Yep.
What?
Yep. So here's the thing about Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is now, he's a podcaster officially. You know, I listen to a lot of Sirius XM radio. He's now on the network. You know, it's all a game, right? The POTUS channel is a channel that is somewhat independent. So, you know, you got MSNBC's on the left, CNN is left center, and you got Fox on the right. And so now he's on this POTUS channel. Once a week, he's got this show. And I don't listen to it. I can't stand listening to him more than 10 minutes at a time. Definitely not going to listen to him on POTUS. And so now he got enough smoke this past week, and black folks are all in his ear. They're all on top of him. I always talked about how much I like Karen Hunter. I don't listen to her nearly as much as I used to. But they came up in the game together as journalists, and she's talked about how they have a great relationship and how a lot of stuff he's talking about right now he really doesn't believe. He's talking because it gets his attention that he's looking for. I've heard Trump even come out and say that he would love to see, because Stephen A. Smith said, well, maybe I should run. Yeah, okay. And so having him in the conversation would be just a lot. It would be just like wrestling. It would just be, a lot of loud people yelling and screaming and hollering and acting a fool. And so, we are in, but when it comes down to it, folks are making money. You're making a crap load of money doing what they're doing. And when it's all said and done, that's exactly what they're looking to accomplish. So it's wild. It's wild in these streets, man. It truly is.
Stephen A. Smith sucks. Like, Stephen A. Smith sucks.
Biggest microphone in sports and almost in pop culture. But go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying he just.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just they've given him. He's a great pawn because sports is a great pawn. He's a great pawn. Because he doesn't present like a lot of the folks that we totally immediately dismiss. Right. And so he's built a relationship for us for the last 25 years on television. And so now him slipping to this where he is now and slipping into misogyny and all of that. When he's had, a lot of black folk, a lot of black journalists who have relationship with him are saying they can't believe he's doing what he's doing. But
and I think that's the hurt that a lot of people are feeling, like, we can't believe you're here. You've talked so badly about you started off talking so badly about black women. Then you went into talking badly about LeBron James. Now you're supporting Trump in a way. Now you're talking badly about Jasmine Crockett. You talk bad about Kamala. I said her name right. Like, it's just all these things where you don't seem very pro-black. This is a side note, but it's very important for me to say this. I got to set up because I want to say this very clearly. To my fellow, like Stephen A. Smith and my fellow black Republicans, my fellow conservatives and all that kind of stuff, the issue isn't that you are conservative. The issue is that you only see wrong in black people. I watch your YouTube channels. I see what you guys talk about. You only talk badly about how dumb black people are to be voting Democratic and how we're on the plantation, even though there are millions of white Democrats and have been for years. You talk so badly about black Democrats and black liberals. That's where you lose a lot of people. That's where you start looking very Uncle Thomas, where it's like, black women are so stupid. Black women only voting for Kamala. Kamala's this, this and that, and it goes on and on and on, but you're not calling out whites, Hispanics, Asians who are also liberals. It's only the black people who are dumb. That's where you lose. And again, Stephen A. Smith's a perfect example. You call out every black woman. Has he ever called out Marjorie Taylor Greene? No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lauren Boebert, any of these people, he's only calling out black women. So I just want to get that rant out before we go into our TV shows, because that's what makes me mad about, you black people, y'all don't want to listen. It's because you talk badly about everything that we do. Everything. So why would we want to listen to you? Right. And I wish more conservative black people were like me, where I can call out on both sides. And I'm about to, in How What? Go ahead and cue it real quick. We'll do How What real quick because it's interesting. It's not so much funny as it is. So the What I want to discuss with you today, we talked about last week about how, the government shutdown is affecting everybody in different ways. Mm-hmm. Well, EBT, it ain't hitting on the 1st of November. And people are pissed. People are on TikTok talking about getting arrested. They're fine with getting arrested for trying to walk out of Walmart and other grocery stores with their groceries without their EBT card because they can't afford it. People are wondering why, why is this happening to me? What should I do? My mom, my grandma, and me all don't get EBT. And I'm sorry, why are there 3 generations of women on EBT?
That to me is that you can focus on that. I don't focus on that. And the reason why I don't is because there are certain people who are in situational poverty, and they're always going to be in situational poverty, right? This which has happened and that is happening with the no EBT and people are not being able to find a way to feed themselves and their families coming around at the first of the month is absurd. And if you think people are not going to walk into Walmart and walk out with food, people got to eat. And so these are the things that people have been talking about for a while. Like Trump is not taking this stuff into account, but they want this chaos. They want this chaos to give reason to bash people in the head. But go ahead.
Here's the problem. People can still eat. You just don't want to spend your money to eat. People have gotten so reliant on that EBT that they don't want to spend their money. That's the issue. It's not that the kids want to
don't have money. If they don't have money, they don't have money to spend.
Not everybody is like that.
I'm not saying everybody is. I'm not saying, I agree with you that everyone is not like that. But a good propensity of people, if you have a budget, regardless of how your budget is built, the way my family budget is built, the way your family budget is built, the way a poor person or wealthy person's budget is built. If you count on that, whatever that number is, $800, $1,000, $1,200 a month to come for groceries, you're not accounting for that 4 weeks ago. And now you're going to tell me now, November 1st, what I'm counting on in my budget every month, I ain't got no other job that's going to cover that $1,200 that's been gone from that's going to feed my family, right? Will they adjust for that in December 1? If it continues, they'll have to. But this first month is going to be a shock because this will be the first month that it didn't hit. So now,
watching. I'm not some elitist woman yelling at you guys about your EBT card because Devin, my son, who I've talked about on the show before, and he does not have Medicare right now. We are coming out of pocket for everything for him, which is a lot of money. And he is also an adult, even though we take care of him. He also gets Social Security. He might not be getting his Social Security check on the first. And What are we going to do in the household? Pay for all of his stuff. Figure it out.
But you also are a college educated 20-year professional. Your husband as well is a professional, and so you have some other things. You can not have dinner, out a couple of days of the month, or you can not take whatever you can do. You have the room in your budget. As much as it may piss you off, you have some room in your budget to say, okay. But for someone who does not have that level of room in their budget, this is going to hurt. All right.
And I do feel bad for them. And again, I do feel bad for you guys. So I guess when you're looking at TikTok with all these girls coming on here with the fresh wigs and the lashes and the girls with the nails, white and black, who were like complaining about not getting the EBT. But where'd you get the money for the lashes and the nails and the wig?
Because the food budget that they're going to have to dip into now. That extra money that gave them the money for the lashes and the nails and the nails or whatever. And I'm sitting up here saying, right or wrong, it is what it is.
Gonna be bald-headed, snaggle-toothed women in a couple of months. So let's do this.
All right. I got a hum what, and I'm gonna go to my I'm gonna go to my screen because I don't know if you're following this story or not.
You never have a hum what. I'm so excited.
Okay.
Oh.
$55 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
So,
I, Roberta McCoy, giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
Did you see her response to that?
This is the reason why so many black folk are leaving the church.
Did you see her response to this though? The lady. She
What
actually
part of
came
it?
up with a video. Her video was that she got in the wrong line. That she should have gotten to the $1,000 line, and she got to the wrong line for the $2,000 line. I was like, ma'am, he chastised you in front of a room full of people for giving $1,000 when regular everyday people.
$1,235. So she pulled that $235 out of somewhere else, out of her budget, in order to give this church this money. I sat right in a church 20 years ago in D.C. Juanita Bynum was in the room, and she did this exact same thing. She had people lined up. $500 line, $1,000 line, $2,000 line. I'm talking about as a revival. I know I was in there at least 3 hours. And for me, it was a new experience, right? Because I grew up in an AME church. This is not what I grew up in this type of experience. I just moved to DC, back to DC as an adult, and was first introduced to these non-denominational preachers and these Pentecostal folk and all of that. And I was intrigued because Juanita to Bynum at that point was one of the more successful ones out there. And that experience to me was just like, she got to be out of her mind. I wish you would sit up here and tell me, talk to me about the amount of my offering or my gift that I'm giving to God. You don't determine, you and your 9-12 button suit, how much money I'm supposed to give.
$1,234 in October of 2025. That's a lot. And she says that her mistake was, he absolutely did not rebuke me. Now there's a difference. There was a correction because let me clearly say that the pastor gave me instruction on the line to get into. Apparently he was saying that she was in the wrong line, but he could have been cool about it and been like, you're in the wrong line. That's okay. Thank you so much. You're trying hard. High five, and kept it going. Except he made it look like, you raggedy B word, you're not giving enough money to me. That's how it's perceived.
The fact that she has lines. The fact that he has lines in his church determining how much money you're going to give and how you're going to give it is my problem, and will always be my problem. With but that's just it. Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. This is funny. I gotta give love to my girl Chanessa White. She's from Detroit. This church is in Detroit. Detroit fam, y'all telling me the fun behind the Marvin Wines video is for the same campus he's been working on since 2002.
Is it? Is it?
I don't know, but it's funny. It's funny if it is.
If it is, that's crazy. You're Marvin Winans. Isn't he part of the Winans family?
Absolutely.
Don't they have? Oh, okay. Either way.
Yeah.
Again, what Miguel said about people not wanting to go to church because of this reason is a fact. This is why people get worried about going to church. We have a woman who has the capability who give that much money, gave it, was up with her grandson or whatever little brown boy that was that she brought up with her.
Probably a grandson or son, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you were disrespectful to her, and you didn't have to be. That's the problem.
We are living in the twilight zone, man. And if you think in this economy, in this society, you think it's a good time for you to put people in line to try to sit up here and take whatever little bit of $1,235 that they have, because she gave the $1,000 plus another $235, which came out of somewhere it shouldn't have came out of, and gave it to Marvin Wines, and he tried to make her feel bad about it, man.
Because Miguel, Tracy, Nikki, and Omar will not be in that $1,000 line. We won't
be in that $1,000 line, not at all. All right, so what are you watching?
I asked first.
Go ahead. What are you watching?
What are we watching? Omar is actually outside watching the Terminal List series, The Wolf, I think it's called. He's very into it. He's very excited about it. He's almost
what
done.
Is it on? It's on what? The Terminal what?
It's called The Terminal List was a movie, but then they made an adjacent series to it called The Terminal List, The Original Wolf. I don't know, but he seems to really, really enjoy it. Okay. What I'm watching specifically, I'm watching The Murdaughs, Death in the Family. That is the new series out on Hulu. Very, very good. If you play those fights.
My toys are right here now. They right here at my fingertips. Go ahead.
You should have watched it. It's a good series.
It's about the Murdaugh Death in the Family. Why do I know the name Murdaugh? Why do I know that name?
The man who stole all that money and then killed his wife and son. That guy in the Carolinas. So I'm
gonna watch this. All them crime drama stuff. I don't care about the people, but go ahead.
It's good. I'm also watching Only Murders in the Building. Always a good show. Steve Martin, Martin Short, and I forget the girl's name. It's a really good show.
Is that Demi Lovato or who's that? Not one of the young girls. Is it Demi Lovato?
No, the one who got married to Benny Blanco recently. Dang it.
Hold
on, wait. I'm gonna look it up.
One of them youngins, one of them young girls who was a pop
It's one of the youngins, and we're not being disrespectful. Selena Gomez.
There we go.
Selena Gomez. So I'm watching that. Also very, very good. And of course, all the shows are back. We talked about the Chicago Med. I'm watching Chicago Med. I'm watching the reality shows, but I'm really into the Murdaugh series, and I'm really into Only Murders in the Building. That is what I'm. Side note though, you know what? Me and my brother finally convinced my mother to watch
What?
A Handmaid's Tale, and she is calling us mad after every episode. Why
Yeah,
y'all got me watching this? This is not okay. This is not okay.
I know Trey watched that. I don't have a desire to get into it because I think it's going to be so much reality feeling, just stuff in there. I said I don't want it. And right now, summertime is my best time of the year just to watch random stuff or to find series. It's football and basketball season right now. So basketball season started. Basketball is now back on NBC, which it has not been for a generation. When I say a generation, well over 20 years. I think the contract moved over to TNT, ESPN right around 2002 or 3. So there's a whole generation who doesn't know all of those great games were played on NBC. And so now
Side
they're on
note,
NBC. Yeah.
me and my brother are talking my dad off the ledge after the Washington Commanders game. How bad that was. Like my dad was, what happened? I don't understand. I was like, Dad, it's okay, Daddy.
They were down 3 wide receivers, and here I am as a Cowboys fan. I was cool with it. It was all right. We're also watching The Diplomat, which is on Netflix, and it's about a woman and her husband who are ambassadors overseas. They're in England, and there's some stuff going on. It's murder mystery type stuff. And then, do you not watch Reasonable Doubt?
Side note, I forgot The Diplomat. We watched The Diplomat. I guess we watched it so quick it completely slipped my mind. The Diplomat on Netflix.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
Yeah. So we just, when we turned it on, we realized we had not watched season 2. So we watched season 2 like last couple of weeks. And so now we're probably 2 or 3 episodes into season 3. And so that's cool. And then, do you watch Reasonable Doubt?
No, I don't.
You should watch that. It's pretty good. I think, black woman lawyer is the main character. Morris Chestnut has a role coming and going. The soundtrack is ill. It's very much Kerry Washington is the one of the executive producers. And
Isn't the from Power in it? The white boy from Power is in this season.
He is. He is in there this season, and it's so crazy because he's done such a great job of playing Tommy on Power that I can't see him as nobody else. He is definitely typecast right now to me. So we'll see if he can continue to try to get himself out of that. And Power, his version of Power is getting ready to start back up sometime soon. I don't know when it's going to start.
You want to break him out of that, Tommy? I will send you the episode of Law and Order he was in that will break your brain from him being Tommy. Because I get what you're doing. He was in an episode of Law and Order from a while ago, SVU, where he played a special needs adult guy who also was sexually abused in prison. So his entire brain was fractured. That will help you get you out of the Tommy zone.
Do that. Because this role that he's playing right now, he's playing an attorney, and I just feel like eventually he can whip out a gun and just shoot somebody and be Tommy. So anyway. All right, so that's what we're watching. Anyway, we're going to continue fighting if we could fight as a community. We endeavor every week to try to find other stuff to talk about. We will. And I think I posted this last week. If Trump commutes Diddy's sentence,
I will riot.
You'd be riding all, but
You're not going to be mad if he does that? You're not going to be mad if he does that?
I'm not going to care because I expect it.
Now.
I expect it.
Really?
Because if he commutes Diddy, all of the weak-minded people, especially in the black community, are going to be so happy. The only way these weak-minded rascals will be happier is if they were free R. Kelly. There's going to be people going to be in the streets, take that. And they're going to run around with baby oil and everything. And Trump is going to be like, see, look at the blacks. I'm not saying all. I'm definitely not saying all. Most of us who have been paying attention they're going to be like, this is some bull crap. But there's going to be a lot of people they've been saying it the whole time. Oh, it wasn't really that bad. He shouldn't be in jail just for being a freak. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting back and I'm saying, we are really, really in a dark place. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. We'll try to catch up and see. I think next Wednesday, unless something else happens with my schedule, we'll see. But I think we should be good. No basketball. Basketball is going to be Tuesdays and Fridays, so we should be fine. But who knows? because that's what we
No.
do. Peace and bye-bye.